Hello friends, and welcome back to Shadow Gamer. Once again, playing The Roottrees Are Dead. At the end of the last one, I had just discovered basically a jackpot of evidence in this book I had pulled up, which was Lauren Roottree's journal, so all kinds of details about her family. So I wanted to keep going through this, see what else I could find. Let's see where we're at on our tree. So, Lauren Roottree. I still don't have a picture of Clark. Well, I do, but I don't know which one is him. So, yep, yeah, and then I also got more evidence from our mysterious employer. So I'm just going to go to page 2. An entry entitled Complaints from Lauren, Roottree's Diary, written in 1953. This entry seems to specifically focus on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who is on the notable Roottrees list. So, Gwyn. It seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. During the summer, I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot. So, this is Gwyn's mother. Aunt Margot. Oh, where is Gwyn? Is this Gwyn? Yep, so let's see how many Margos we have. Margot Light? I'm going to go to the evidence board. And I'm going to find the list of all names. I just want to see if a Margot pops up here. Yeah, I think it's got to be Margot Light. All right. Let's see. Gwyn Roottree. Spouse. Margot Light Roottree. All right. Perfect. I hoped she would be the sister I never had, and I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the two of them. So Margot also has blonde hair. Should I throw that in? Margot has blonde hair. But she just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. Did I have Lauren's husband? Oh no, Clark is her son. Okay, yep. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me from my coffee. She gets to be in Starlet. Yep, highlight. I don't believe I had found that, movie. Yeah, I just found Guys Like Us and Christmas Mission, and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane. I think I knew of Harrison Lane. Yep. And Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I am jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. The girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me, and now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwen. So that is a fascinating piece of information. Other than a housewife. Alright, so literally, well, she's an author, so I don't know why she's complaining about that, but well, I guess I'll need to know which of these are female, but anyone before her is just a housewife. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna keep following up on what I found out about Gwen here on the computer. Starlet movie. Starlet was a magazine that started with the colorization of film around 1964. Generally, it was a tabloid with a focus on famous actors and actresses. It didn't go much into any other aspects of filmmaking or Hollywood news. So it's a periodical. Starlet. Gwen Roottrees was often in Starlet. Most mentions were around the time of her divorce in 1958 from Wild Bill Williams. Perfect. So she divorced from Wild Bill Williams. I will need to find out more from the computer about Wild Bill Williams. Gossip is speculative and full of tabloid stereotypes. Some of it focuses on the fact that when she announced her divorce, she also announced that she was pregnant again. Others mention the rumor is Wild Bill had multiple affairs, which left her heartbroken. There was an interview from earlier in mid-1957 where she was asked about her last name. She answered, "The power of a name is undeniable. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names and honoring them. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall. Father is Cornwall. But Roottrees has power. My husband similarly goes by Wild Bill. It's an infamous name he repurposed for himself because he didn't have the benefit of being born with a famous one. But Wild, combined with the alliteration Williams, is incredibly memorable. Although we've relocated to Paris, I know your readers love to keep up with my husband, so consider this a Scarlet exclusive about both of us. Wild Bill and I have a child on the way, and we're sticking with the Roottrees for the last name, not Williams. Child also Roottrees. But we also plan to lean into alliteration. That's how we'll honor both our family names. Alright, so. Well, she has 2 children. Curious. Roottrees. So, it would be an R Roottrees. Robert, Ronald. I wonder if both her kids would be R Roottrees. Unsure. But I need to find out more about Wild Bill, and her father is Cornwall. There's only one Cornwall. I need a picture of Margolite. Let's go back to Wild Bill Williams. Wild Bill Williams was the leading man of some non-notable movies in the 1950s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which has yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any additional information about that film. He is known for his good looks and off-screen romances, specifically with blondes. He was married 4 times to 4 different actresses. There's a famous Hollywood rumor that he even approached Marilyn Monroe at a party, and she was already aware of his reputation. Wild Bill grew up in Paris, France. He returned there often. Do we really not have a Williams? Bill? No. An alliterative name? Yeah, huh. I guess I'm just not finding anything. Alright, I wonder if I can find anything on Margolite Roottrees. Nothing? Alright, I guess I'm going back to my evidence. Alright, so I feel like I gleaned what I could out of page 2. Still saying I have stuff to find, but I guess that's probably just because it's not locked in. Dynasty. An entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees' diary, written in 1958. It focuses on the day her grandfather Elias announced he would step down as president of Roottrees Candy Company and the meeting to determine his successor. I wish I had been a fly on the wall today. Clancy told me that everyone got quite heated. Granddad was furious. None of his sons did not take over Candy. But that's what he gets for holding on to it so long. With architects, preachers, and lawyers, no one's got time for Candy. So I should find some of those jobs. So with the 5 pieces refusing to step up, it comes down to us next gens. Five pieces? Yep, so the next generation. So none of them were the second president. Pop argued at length that the company should stay with our branch of the family since we still have the Roottrees name. I'm not even sure Clancy would have wanted it, but he was the only one who volunteered. So, next gens. Next gens. Clancy. Zach. Surname and... So their surnames are not Roottrees. Surname, not Roottrees. Zach, surname, not Roottrees. Even though his surname doesn't match the company, he's the firstborn son of the firstborn five-piece. Zach. I'm not sure how that's relevant to running a company, but Granddad has always had particular views when it comes to his bloodline. I asked Clancy if it ever came up that a woman could take over. After all, Angie's older than Zach. I'm the next oldest of us all, but he just laughed. I'll never forget the cuss words Pop used when he told Ma it wouldn't go to us. Mother, ever the quick-witted, at least with catty remarks, countered back maybe they wanted it to go to the only member of the family who looks like he samples the product. So he's probably heavy. Not trying to fat shame anyone. Ma definitely was trying to fat shame Zach. Alright, so let's see what we can do with that info. So, of the next gens, Zach is the firstborn son. Zach is one of these two. Of the firstborn root tree. But if I recall, the firstborn of the five pieces was a daughter. I don't know what I'm remembering that from, but it seems like I came across something. But, so, Zach could be either, assuming he had a sister that was older. Let me check that note again. She's the oldest of the next gens. Angie's older than Zach. But this is cousins. I can't place them as his, I can't place either. I can't place Angie as his sister. She might be, but she might not be. Pop was not happy. I just want to check out, because it was her, oh, no, so, yeah, her dad was the root tree. Yep. Alright. Still got more to glean out of this. It says there's 6 clues I'm looking for here. An entry titled Sam from Lauren's diary, written 1963. From a previous entry, you learned that Elias Roottrees had given in to his wife and announced that Sam, an obscure relative, was to be included in family gatherings. Gwyneth had been pushing to include Sam for quite some time, Lauren writes. Why Sam? I have many distant relatives I've never met. After all, Granny had 2 sisters and Granddad had a brother or 2. But I was told trim their branches from the family tree. So why is Sam special? Nothing adds up, and I'm not the only one to realize. Angie summoned the next gens to a secret meeting in Zach's office. No. I want my notebook. So, the next gens. Yep. Yep. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, including Miracle's boys, Spent ages trying to unravel the mystery. So there's a lot here. Miracle has boys. Miracle is 5-piece. Miracle's boys. Gwen's in Paris, but the rest of us, I didn't recognize Sam at Uncle Junior's. So that means that Elias Jr. is a 5-piece. Uncle Jr., Elias Jr., 5-piece, married to Patsy. At the reception, when I asked who Sam was, Pop shushed me and said it was complicated. Clancy swore he saw Sam working alongside the farm hands, E.C. and John, when he used to drive past the old Anderson farm on his way to work. Upon hearing that, Zach checked all the records and managed to confirm all 3 are on the books. Eli, Miracle's youngest, is Eli, but her brother is also possibly Eli, and her family is the only one that has the Roottrees name in this generation. Huh. So her brother, are there 2 Elis? And her brother is one of them. Okay, so Elias Jr. is in the previous, but got an Elias C and an Elias Roottrees. That seems to, they're both Roottrees. Interesting. There's so much information in this journal. So I hope I'm probably missing loads. It really was a find. Apparently when he was riding his mini bike alongside the farm a few weeks ago, Sam gave him some old tools and taught him how to make the bike's engine faster. None of us think that proper for a multitude of reasons, but Eli seems thrilled. At the end of the day, nothing explains why an outsider has cozied into family affairs, especially one who works on the farm of all places. What happened to blood is thicker than syrup? Why is Granddad making an exception? Interesting. So I don't think we'll find Sam on the family tree. Because he's not one of the 5 pieces. But that gave us a lot of other information related. One of the final entries called Clark from Lauren Roottrees' diary written in 1964. Clark's getting married, and in my opinion, far too young. He's barely 18 for God's sake, and Danielle isn't much older. But openly confronting them would make me a hypocrite. After all, Jacob and I got married at 16. Clark, like the rest of his generation, is a free spirit. What else do you call a group of kids growing up with more money than any one person can spend? They all aspire to be musicians and artists and dancers and all sorts of nonsense. The only one who has any discipline is Carl, but that's because Pop forced Clancy to send him to the academy. Carl. Where was Carl? Carl, so Clancy. Junior or Clancy Edward? I'm thinking Pop forced Clancy. I'm guessing this must be Clancy Jr. and this must be Clancy Edward. Because Pop forced Clancy to send Carl to the academy. Yeah, so I'm guessing Pop is Clancy, and it appears to be a root tree, not a spouse marrying him. All right. Danielle, so Clark is marrying Danielle. I wonder how many Danielles we have. And this would be his first one. There's only one Danielle. Frank's. So one of these remaining ones is the other LaRoe girl. But they had kids. This is metagaming a little bit. The Rafferty had kids with LaRoe. So this is LaRoe. Hang on, so which LaRoe is already LaRoe Diamond? Oh. There's still two options there. LaRoe Jane and LaRoe Kim. Which one was it on the... It was Jane, wasn't it? Let me check my evidence. That's Diamond. Yeah, so it would be Jane. Awesome. So, Jane LaRoe, and these two will be LaRoe Rafferty. And then, so then the question is, who's this? Awesome. Alright, the free spirit? Maybe I'm just getting old, but our generation was never so bad. My brothers all seemed to pursue paths of knowledge, and the most rebellious thing any of us ever did was bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department when he retires. Edward. So, going to Lauren. Brothers Eli, Edward. Edward married probably, I'm guessing, a black woman, but not acceptable according to Pop, so Pop is a racist. Let's just type that in. Just so we're clear. Edward's set to take over. So out of the two brothers, Edward's probably the older. As for me, my first book, Swashbuckle My Heart. I should look up Swashbuckle My Heart. Is based on the pirate stories I used to invent with Jacob when we were walking in the woods after school. I think he'd be proud that Clark and I are carrying on his name. Even my cousins are doing well. Zach's not a bad president, after all, and his sister seems to be doing a good job raising her twins. Gwen is Gwen, but at least she came out of the divorce with her head held high. She even told us she might come home next year so we could meet her kids. But in any other family, they'd all end up on the streets, even Clark. Well, I mean, perhaps the nice thing about having money is you can do what you want and not, force yourself to work hard to. But I'm not jealous. I'm doing okay. Let's, interesting. Strawberry, plum. Not the same as what they were back then. Yep. This is new flavors. Yeah. So I wanted to look up her book. That's what I wanted to do. Let's go to the public library. Swashbuckle. Spider search. Nothing. Guess it wasn't a very good book or a very well-known book. Oh, Pop was a lawyer. Did I get that in? Lawyer. So I just need a picture. Alright, I think for the time being I'm done with the journal. I wonder why this is new evidence. Oh, this is, more information on the client. A photo of Carl's generation, taken in the mid to late 1970s, as well as some papers and mail from his office. They then said they'd have a bit more to share after 9 more blood relatives. So yes. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water-damaged picture of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. Written on the back of this photo is couldn't make the reunion. Wishing you well from Paris, Gwen and the boys. Alright, so that's Gwen and her children. Let me go over to here. Gwen. And these 2 boys will be her children, one of whom married. He went to film school, so he might be an actor as well. Alright. Bonus. This photo was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle in the corner office. The letter says, "To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. Carl and Brenda, it's more traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knows how busy your job can be. I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside of the faith to do so. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his full family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride in the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. As for myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. It went unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew that it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust, and that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Ernie. What do we know about Ernie? Ernest. Okay, second cousin. Has a wife and daughter, clearly from the picture. Alright, so second cousin is going to be outside of this family group, and is going to be in one of these two kids. One kid, so either of those could be it. Any of those could be it. This is getting much harder than it was in the beginning. Yep, so we can rule out these three. Unlikely, because Ernie died first. Or maybe Ernie died and then this is the... Yeah. Is Ernest a Rootree though? No, he's a Madsen. Yeah. So Ernest Jr. is probably gonna be one of these. Two are the only ones that seem to fit. Yeah. I'll have to come back to that though. What's this? This was buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It had a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. It is a flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. And now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, her message for voters is simple: love is our future. The handwritten note says, "Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, she could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflicts spread to the next generation. CM." I don't even know. Let's, CM. So someone in Carl's generation is CM. Madsen, Caroline Morden, Carolyn Morden seems to be the only CM. Unless I missed something. I don't have enough information to know what to do with that yet. Lauren's diary contains labeled pictures. This is the 5 pieces. Yes, this is excellent. 5 pieces. This picture was famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Pop on the left. This was taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo, since Miracle was in it and the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pizzas, which really didn't go over very well, to say the least. Miracle is nearly same age as next generation. Okay. So, youngest, question mark? We were told, eventually I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of a camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. I found out years later they never even took a second photo. Mr. Morden plus Gwendolyn? Question mark? Romantic couple? So, Gwendolyn is one of the 5 pieces. Alright, save that note. Alright, so Pop is on the left. This must be Miracle. Then one of these is Gwendolyn. Eli Jr. This will be Eli Jr. Yep, I'll grab their pictures, but I do not know the rest. I don't know who these 2 women are. One of them is the oldest. Alright, so Pops, i.e. Clancy. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this is Miracle. Then one of his kids will be Miracle Jr. Oh, I still have someone to identify here. I'm just trying to make sure I follow up everything I can out of the evidence I got. I do not know what Miracle's occupation is. I do not know. So one of these remaining will be Gwendolyn, one will be Eli, and a woman who I don't know what her name is. And then Morden is there. Interesting. Yeah, that is good information. Sorry, I'm thinking and trying to I'm thinking and trying to decide what the next thing to do is. I'll just keep following up my gathered evidence. So, unfortunately, we don't have that other picture. We do have these pictures. This photo has a note attached from your employer. Every 20 years or so, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. Sorry about the water damage, a pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing, it says November. There are also a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next president Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Caroline, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Clark, Carl, and Eli M. But we know that's Carl. So I'm gonna throw in the extra picture I have of Carl now. I'm going to need to come back to this when I have more context. Lots of water damage. These dates are going to be important, and I know I'm going to mess it up in my head. Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This one is the next generation. Next generation is Lauren's generation. Let's go back to that photo. In an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation, for old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way to the left, since to me he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. But I was outvoted by my brothers. They insisted the 4 of us stand together, so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. So the only one to make a good appearance was Gwen. The only one too good to make an appearance was Gwen, so none of these are Gwen. So this is Lauren and her 3 brothers. Grandma insisted we include Sam even if we didn't want to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in since he's technically a 5-piece. I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years. So, Miracle, possibly? And Sam, I'm guessing, because Sam is from the older generation. That's Sam. I'm not Okay. I'm getting some ideas about Sam. I'll keep those to myself for now. I'm guessing this is Miracle. Yeah, I think he's too old to be Miracle because he's not the same age as these. So this must be Miracle. Go back to the family tree. I already have a photo of Miracle. I don't have the one unlocked yet, but I would like to slot that in eventually. All right, that's all my evidence for the time being. Let me check out the... Yep, This is interesting that it labels the clues I haven't found yet for these. Let me go to notable root trees. Miracle Jr. Who have I not found yet? Printing off some more evidence. You find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by Miracle Roottrees Estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness testimonies of the Miracle's root tree. Miracle root tree arrived. We're going to add a page. Miracles. Miracle root tree arrived so late in his mother's life that the doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. But still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. I'm guessing they're preachers, but it's sounding a little cult-like. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the blurb is a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. So we've got some preachers in the family. Oh, so I was wrong. This is Miracle. All right. The flyer for the 3 generations of Miracles tour. Miracle Jr., Miracle Roottrees, and Miracle III with his wife Nicole. Who are said to be youth pastors. So, televangelists and pastors, basically all through. And this is, so this is a feature. So this is Miracle Jr. And then, and Miracle the Third. All right, so, I'm actually going to switch out the photo here because I would like to use evidence. This one. No. This one. This is clearly the original miracle. I was wrong about that being Sam. So let's do this. Preacher. Junior. There we go. Yep, I'm glad I'm getting those optional ones in. Yep, so we still have more to put in here. Miracle third and his wife Nicole. Third. Where's he at? He kind of looks dour. They all kind of look a little dour, actually. Preacher. Nicole. Madsen or Smith? All right. Yep, that's as far as I've gone in that line, so I think that took me a while to lock in 3 names, but I did, and I'm proud of myself for that, so I think I'll be, that's where I'll end for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate it, and if you have any please don't leave suggestions for solving the puzzles in the comments, but if there's anything you'd like to see on the channel, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys later.